Tell us about you growing up and who your heroes were. Who inspired you to want to do music or entertainment?
Sure. Well, I graduated high school in '63, and the beginning of '63 is when I first heard the Beatles. And
On Ed Sullivan, or where'd you hear about him first?
no, I remember this girl I was dating at the time said, "Have you heard this new group called the Beatles?" And I remember saying, "The Beatles." What a dumb
Never catch
name.
on.
Yeah, and so anyway, I was going to a theater arts college, and I was doing Greek plays and everything. That's how you got your grade for the year, doing these Greek tragedies like Oedipus Rex and Othello and all that stuff. And I'm saying, geez, this just is not me at all. So when I heard the Beatles, I said,
Light went on.
that's it. That is
You
it.
needed an American invasion to
Yeah,
take on the
because
British.
I had played drums since I was 5. And so I said, I play drums. And I said, well, let me, so I formed up the first Playboys from classmates at school. We started doing sorority parties.
And what school did you go to?
It was Pasadena Playhouse.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Illustrious.
I know.
Now, how was that growing up in a entertainment family? I know it was normal to you, but were you encouraged to create? Came natural? You just surrounded
Well,
by it?
my dad never sat me down and talked to me. Now, in this business, you have to do this and that. It wasn't like that. It was like I just observed his life, and the things I learned were so important to how to get along in this business
Right.
and everything. So I had a great head start just by watching him
Yeah.
do all his business.
I mean, besides the legacy of, Jerry Lewis and Dean Martin and all that we grew up with, I mean, all his movies and now the legacy with the muscular dystrophy. I
Right.
mean, how proud is that of you to see your father do all that good work over so many years?
It was wonderful, and he always told me, anytime you and the guys want to do the show, just give me a call. So I did, and we did it like 20 times. It was good to go out there and just to see him.
Yeah.
And then go on national TV too was good,
Sure. Well, take us back to those early days. I mean, this Diamond Ring had such an impact.
Yeah.
Tell us about how that came together, that you guys recorded and released that.
Right. Well, Al Cooper, who was one of 3 guys who wrote This Diamond Ring, he wrote it for the Drifters, and it was a much more soulful, kind of slow sound and all that. And the Drifters ended up, they didn't like it. So they passed on it. So then it was given to Bobby V. And Bobby V said, no, I don't like it. I don't want to do it. And so then my producer offered it to me, and it was our very first recording. I don't care what the song was going to be. I just wanted to get in there and record and have, because I was only 18, no experience yet or anything. I said, sure, I'll do it. I love that song.
Who produced it?
Snuffy Garrett,
Oh, yeah.
Liberty Records.
Wow.
And so it ended up going to #1 in the country. It kicked the Beatles out of #1.
I mean, what feeling was that to just be a kid and all of a sudden be a pop star?
It definitely came too fast.
You got a little spoiled of your first one.
Because Snuffy Garrett said to me, he said, now, you better calm down right now. Do you realize how many one-hit artists there are out there? He says, you got to concentrate on #2, and 3. And if we get those, then we might be on our way, So he brought me right back down to earth and explained the importance of not getting too cocky too quick,
Now, what was the business, the whole spirit in L.A. like back then? Because we have so many great memories of the 60s with the revolution of rock and roll and the top 40 radio and all that. Take us back. What was it like?
It was all exactly like people think it was. I mean, all the people that are here from the 60s, all of us went through the same thing where we would take over the acetates of what we just recorded to the DJs, just run it right over from studio to radio station, and they put them on. You know, if they liked you, they would put your tune right on. Don't have to talk to a program director or anything like that. The DJs were like the bosses, and it was a wonderful, tremendous period of time. Even though Vietnam was happening and all that, and it was all escalating and all that, but still, the music business and everything about it was so new and so great. That was like a separate thing. Vietnam was like a separate thing that was going on.
It was looming in the background, but you had the Beach Boys
but,
and you had all the exciting music coming out
all
of LA. And was it KRLA? Was that the
KRLA?
Yeah.
Is where Dick Biondi worked.
And was the station there at Sunset and La Brea? Because I saw a picture one time of Ricky
KRLA
Nelson
was like in Pasadena.
Okay.
Yeah, KFWB. Do you remember that one?
Sure.
KFWB, Channel 98.
Yeah.
KHJ with Sam Riddle, Wink Martindale.
Yeah.
You know, the real Don Steele. Boy, those guys they were all great. They were powerful because they could do what they wanted to do. They didn't have to consult with people to see if we can play this.
Yeah.
You know,
the consultants weren't running the show.
Right.
It was the spirit of the music. You went straight from the writing it, recording it to the
station
consumer.
You know, they weren't even pressed up yet. They were just, you know, cut me a copy, give me an acetate copy, and they cut it, and I'd just run it over to the DJs. And oh man, everybody was thrilled to death about playing the tunes. They put them right on.
Did you play the Hollywood Bowl back then?
Yeah.
Did you?
As a matter of fact, we did.
Wow. What was that like?
Yeah, in '65. Well, it was really great because I had gone there to see the Beatles play there. And then we got asked to play there. It was like a package show with other 60 people. And, you know, to finally play a place that you've heard about and seen all these big people going into, you know, I was starting to feel like, boy, I think we're going to make it, you know. I think things are right.
Sure.
Yeah, and it was.
Now, besides the Hollywood Bowl, are there any special shows, or what were some of the memories, any of the highlights of just like...
The real highlights were doing the Ed Sullivan Show 6 times. We did it first to break Diamond Ring to the country, and he liked us enough to where every other new release he asked us to be on. So the first 6 singles, we debuted it all on Ed Sullivan, and our first 7 singles went top 10. That's a good run.
Yeah.
You know, and then we had 10 more that were top 20. So it's really great when we go out on tour. If we have to, we can do a whole set of just our stuff.
All top 20.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
I know.
And to be out on that stage that introduced the Beatles to America
yeah,
was
exactly right.
incredible.
You know.
And what kind of person was Ed like?
Well, I had to talk to Ed through his interpreter, but no. That's my dad's line, by the way.
Right.
He was okay. I mean, he was all right, but he was kind of a strange guy.
Yeah.
You know.
More the host. He didn't really hang out with the bands.
He
didn't even probably know the music that well.
No, he didn't. He didn't. During a dress rehearsal of the first time we did his show, you know, we did it with an audience, you know, and it was a dress rehearsal. It wasn't being taped or anything. And Ed comes out on stage, he's about to introduce us, and he says, "Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a nice hand for Jerry Lewis's Sons Combo." And I said, "Oh, Ed, geez." So after the dress rehearsal, I went up to him and I told him, "It's Gary Lewis and the Playboys." He says, okay. Okay. And then he got it right at Showtime. You know, but, oh. But, you know, my dad always told me people work 20 years to get on that show. They worked their whole life to get on that show.
Sure.
And here we were on it 6 times in 2 years.
Yeah.
You know?
Now, besides that show, any other memorable New York shows? Any concerts there that really
New
stood
York
out?
shows, yeah. Playing the Brooklyn Fox with Murray the K.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he put on those shows at the Brooklyn Fox. We'd get there at 11 in the morning, do 5 shows. We'd leave 11 at night.
No kidding. They were like 2 hours
You
in
know,
and out?
for 2 weeks. You know, the Temptations were on that show. Tom Jones, Cannibal and the Headhunters, The Times.
Mm-hmm.
Who else?
So what were you doing, like 15,
just a lot.
20-minute sets?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, 20 or 25. The entire show was like 2:15. So, and we had to do 5 of them. So we were there all day.